Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting. All right, coming to you with course that lesson two, which just basically goes over the scope of, what this workshop or course is planning to do and what my goals with it are. So basically, you know, the self-belief course or this self-belief course is the next foundational understanding after self-validation. So what we plan to do within this course, or what I plan to do with you within this course, is to build upon self-validation. Okay, so now that we know how to validate ourselves internally, okay, now we need to know how to build our self-belief when looking to take those actions. So, you know, um, I personally have struggled, with self-belief my entire life. And it's because like I was always taught to never believe in myself. I was always taught that, you know, I should always follow other people or replicate other people. I used to value other people's opinions so much so above my own that I would not take action towards things that I want, and I would actually create and shape a life that I didn't want. So that's one of the key things about self-belief that I personally have learned is that when you want to actually live the life you truly want, not the bullshit fucking, not the bullshit lie life that everyone else wants, not what's on Instagram, not what's popular within society. If you want to live the ideal life for yourself, to be the ideal version of who you want to be, not who others want you to see, or not who others want you to be, but who you actually want to be. Okay, self-belief is the most important thing. We gotta think about self-belief as being like, if we use an analogy of, you know, surviving in the wilderness, being lost. Let's say we're on a plane crashes in the middle of, a million hectares of forestry. Okay, our self-belief is like water. Okay, our self-validation is the food. Okay, our self-validation is what sustains us. Our self-belief is what, keeps us alive. You can have all the food you want in the world. If you do not have water, you will die in 5 days. Okay, even if you supplement, potentially you can supplement for fruit because fruit has a high water content, but you get the point. Okay, we have to have the fuel in our mind, which is our self-validation of this is what is real, this is what is false. We have to have the internal fortitude of self-belief to say, I believe this as being real, and I'm going to commit to it. So an important thing to sort of understand, and especially for me, is that, it's all great to have these ideas and to have these visions of what you want to achieve in life. Okay. But if we don't have the internal fortitude, what will happen is as soon as things go against us, as soon as things go bad, as soon as that self-doubt starts to creep in, okay, it'll erode us from the inside. I there's many people that are like me, but what I can admit, what I can put it to is imagine yourself being the richest person in the world, the most attractive person in the world, and yet the narrative in your mind is a failure, is the worst person in the world, is not good enough. It doesn't matter what you have. If up here, okay, you are tormented by your mind and your thoughts, and you are controlled by the stimuli from your external environment, okay, and others' opinions, what it will do is create so much chaos in your mind that who you are will become someone who you don't want to be. Because in your mind, you will be constantly at war with yourself. To make any decision or take any action will be a battle. Okay. And that's why a lot of people say once you win the war in your mind, No weapon against you can prosper. And the reason for that is when you have the coherency of being able to validate yourself, having self-belief, okay, and having, self-confidence, self-worth, being this holistic version of yourself, nothing can hurt you, okay? Because it doesn't, to you, it doesn't matter what happens to you, it's how you respond to it. But if we don't have self-belief, even if we think that way, as soon as we try and act on it, then the walls of our mind will erode and the terror, self-doubt will come in. Okay. So what we got to understand is that, if we truly want to, achieve, our version of our ideal self, not someone else's ideal self, but our ideal self, our ideal life. What is our ideal reality? We all construct reality within our mind, okay? So what we got to understand is that, if we're not in control of our mind, okay, and we let fear dictate us, and we let, and an important thing to understand is that when we let self-doubt in, okay, it's not that it's the self-doubt itself. No, the self-doubt starts to erode our confidence. It starts to murky our clarity, makes our clarity a bit more murky. We cease to be as clear as we are. We don't really see the way forward. We don't really know what step to take. Then self-doubt comes in a form of hesitation. Which action do I take? Which step do I take? What will happen if that step is wrong? Okay, so you got to understand, when we let self-doubt into our mind, it'll start to erode all facets of our mind. Our self-worth, our self-confidence, our self-belief, our self-validation, because we'll start doubting everything. So what we got to understand is that, self-validation is the important aspect of understanding, who are we? What do we think? What do we believe? What do we feel? What are our emotions? What is our meaning? And then self-belief is how we build the fortitude. Our self-belief is that fortitude of, in a fight, even if I get punched in the face, I'm okay to continue. If I don't have self-belief and I get punched in the face, self-doubt and hesitation will come in, and then I'll start to doubt myself. And then, these are the key things. What we got to understand is that the problem with self-doubt, especially in this context, is that we cease to be coherent within ourselves. So then we go to war with ourselves. So instead of dealing with the obstacles outside, or the challenges, or, situations that are showing up as a cohesive, unified person, what we do is then we start to push that environment away, and then we start infighting within our mind. And we don't take action because we can't take action because we don't know the right action. So the problem is that the self-doubt will erode not only our confidence, not only our self-belief, not only our self-validation, but it's going to start to erode our self-cohesiveness, our cohesiveness between our left hemisphere and our right hemisphere. Now, understand this: our left hemisphere is our logic. This is where reason, language, all that other jazz is created. And our right hemisphere is our emotions. It's our feelings, it's our instincts. So you've got to understand, when we let self-doubt in, what'll typically happen is we'll start to slip subconsciously into a fear mindset, into a scarcity mindset, where we're looking at, what's the bad? Where's the bad? What's coming next? What do I do? We'll start to, it's just what, rather than, this is my goal, this is my path, these are the actions that I need to take to achieve that path. Okay, so that's where self-belief really comes in handy, is it's how we build that fortitude to know, if I continue on this path, I will achieve that goal, regardless. So that's what I hope you get out of this course. And that's my goal, is to try and get that across to you like I had to get it across to myself. Okay. because like it's not something that you just solve once. It's like self-validation. It's in every moment you have to make the decision. Any moment can be the moment where you cease. So, for example, it's not about winning one battle within your mind, but it's about winning a battle and then setting the defenses so that the defenses cannot be breached. Okay. It's not about, you know, achieving this one goal, but it's about building the character to be able to achieve every goal that you may set, building the fortitude to believe that you will survive anything that happens to you, that you will get through whatever you need to. Okay. So when we have coherency between our left and our right hemisphere, we're able to control and stay in the states that we want to stay in, empowered states, not disempowered states, because that's what happens. So when we have self-validation, when we have self-belief, when we have self-confidence, when we have self-worth, we're in an empowered state. We know who we are. We know what we need to do. We know where we want to go. We know how we're going to get there. When we have, self-doubt, when we validate ourselves externally, when we need external validation, when we're unconfident in who we are, so we're afraid to be our authentic self, when we don't have the worth to see our own value, and yet we expect others to see the value within us. These are disempowered states. These are states where we're not able to perform at our highest level because we're in a state of fear. We're in a state of reaction. So this is an important thing that I want to get across to you in this course, is that the more coherent and the more together we are within ourselves, okay, when we're our ideal whole self, okay, who we want to be, okay, of where we want to go in life, of what means something to us, of what we value and what values us. We're able to take different actions. We're able to progress forward confidently, even alone. So that's a key thing to understand. All right. Well, I'll see you on the next one, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.